Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we're trying King Cake. It's a stout from Braided River Brewing Company out of Mobile, Alabama. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we're drinking and reviewing. Look, friends, we know that you have a lot of options when it comes to beer review shows. There are a bunch of them out on YouTube. We appreciate you coming and checking out our show and spending some time with us. We enjoy it. We enjoy trying new beer and letting you guys know what we think about it. And we hope you like it too. Be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell, as well as check us out on social media and check out our new Discord channel. And you can hop in and chat with us, and we can respond, and we can have a good time there as well. I've got Jay, I've got Andy in the attic. I am Ben. What are we drinking today, gentlemen?
It is King Cake. It is a long boil imperial pastry stout. It's a lot to unwrap there. So
It's a special release as well.
Yes.
So
it felt so good.
All right, here we go.
All right, careful. You got your towel?
Forgot my towel.
I think this one's good.
This is good.
So yeah, this was a truly a special release because the folks down there in Mobile are some good friends of mine, and they had this tucked away in the back, and they gave it to us special. This was the very last of it they actually had.
Nice.
Well,
I was about to say,
I just had
special. It wasn't on their website.
I just had to take a quick sip of it because I overpoured. So, I broke the format there. So
tainted this review.
I have. I don't know if we can continue, but I guess we shall.
Wow, you can definitely pick up that cinnamon. It says it's got lactose, cinnamon, and vanilla beans.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Yep. Cinnamon is definitely the overpowering aroma.
And it checks in at 10.0 ABV and 0 IBUs.
Yay, Ben. 0 IBUs.
So
hey, I mean, that's like, for me, that's like an automatic, like 8.5 right there, right? 0 IBUs. So, cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Does show up nicely against that Hopped Up Beer Review glass.
Damn it, y'all. You didn't tell me again.
It's that secret pathway that Jay and I have. That you're missing out on.
That song, Radar Love?
Maybe. So back to the beer. Cinnamon.
Yeah, it's heavy on the cinnamon and the pastry.
Yep.
Definitely at 10%. I'm picking up alcohol. You can't smell it, but you can definitely taste it.
Yep.
I think you can smell a little bit through that vanilla.
So this is our second King Cake. I don't know if you guys remember, a little while ago, we decided to start out on this crazy adventure of telling the world what we think about beer. And, because it's been so popular, we figured we would try another King Cake because King Cake was our first beer review. So I think for maybe the viewership, maybe for us as well, it'd be great to see how this review of a King Cake ale or stout would compare to our first. How far have we grown in our craft in doing this? If at all, have we regressed?
I was about to say we're stagnant. It took me 3 or 4 times to do the intro.
Yeah, well,
that's what keeps this fun, though. If we just nailed it every time, I mean, how fun would this be? It wouldn't be fun.
The ironic thing is, I was in the Fresh Market grocery store looking for some Oktoberfest, and they still have that King Cake in the freezer or in the fridge where you can get it. The king cake from Chandelure.
Yep.
Oh, really?
And I actually still have one in my fridge that I have not tried. I've not consumed again. And I don't know. I would think it's probably getting a little bit old at this point.
It's about to age out.
Yeah, probably so. I should probably go ahead and drink that. But back to the Braided River king cake. What do we know here for our nerd out section? Did we have any? You said that this beer was not on the website.
Yeah. And I mean, we covered Braided River in the
Hoppy
previous,
by Nature.
yeah, Hoppy by Nature.
So,
North
what about-
of Mobile Bay.
Yeah. What about the long boil pastry stout?
So being a pastry stout, it's going to have, again, the lactose, a very dessert type style to it. The long boil, it's got to refer to the wort, when they cook, I'm guessing they take longer, the mash, and they just take longer to cook it, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's interesting. Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. I think it's interesting that they actually mention that it's a long boil pastry stout. I've never seen that on any other pastry stout or stout.
I mean, I've never seen the reference long boil to any beer that I've had.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this was, like you said, on the can, it shows special release. I think it was a very, very limited release. Braided River's only been around since the pandemic started, so they were struggling through that aspect of starting a business right when the pandemic started and COVID and everything hit us. But they actually have a great taproom brewery right there, downtown Mobile, not far from the area downtown. I think it's on First Street, if I'm not mistaken. I've been over there, and great facility, super nice people. Highly encourage folks to visit if they're in the area.
And you said this was one that they provided to us special, right? I mean, it was not something you either purchased or was available on the shelf. Okay, awesome.
Hey, Ben, another goal of yours met through this show.
Yeah, they had actually sponsored this beer and Hoppy by Nature, and usually several others. So we'll hopefully get some more across the show in the near future.
I think I had mentioned earlier the brewery was on the north side of the Mobile Bay, which that's incorrect. It's in Mobile. Yep. The Braided River reference is due to all the tributaries coming down into the Mobile Bay and the way they intersect and intertwine. So my apologies to Braided River.
That's how they came up with their name, how the rivers kind of braided and intertwined. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they give a portion of their proceeds back to some of the wildlife area down there.
They do.
So.
Well, good deal. With that, I think it's time for us to go around the horn and put a number to this one. So has anybody had this yet? I'm assuming no. You have had it. So
I have had it.
You cheated and you've had this one.
No, I didn't cheat. I actually had it.
I'm kidding.
When we were down there and earlier this year, one of the owners and the bartenders, we had a sampling of all sorts of things.
Right.
So we cracked one of these and shared a taster of it. So I have had this one.
Sounds like we need to do a tap room flight review at Braided River. Is what I'm hearing.
There's a few down that way. Now I think we've reviewed a couple others. Fair Hope's down there. They're about 20 minutes away from Mobile. Then you get down more towards the coast. If you get into Gulf Shores, there's Big Beach Brewing, a couple others down that way. So,
all right. Well, let's get to it. Andy, why don't you go first for us today?
Well, it's a good beer. It is one of the sweetest beers I think I've ever had. And when I saw the 10%, I was leaning into it thinking, is it going to be too boozy tasting? But fortunately, it's not. You can pick up the alcohol taste, but it's not like overly boozing, like a barrel aged feel. So I'm glad that so sweet. But the more I drink it, the more I'm kind of coming onto it and liking it. You definitely, this is to end the night. This beer, and if you plan on doing a lot of drinking, you don't want to do a lot with this one. You just want to do like a nice mellow out session. It'd be really good during the winter. I'm just torn. I'm trying to give the score. I would definitely drink it again. I'm going to go with the 7.5. I mean, I like it. I'm just like, wow, it's so sweet.
That is exactly the first thing that I was going to say. Is the sweetness of this beer is unlike any other beer that I can remember having. It almost, I mean, the first couple of sips, I'm thinking port. That's the thing that comes to my mind. It's not quite that sweet, obviously, but on a beer scale,
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of it's kind of the port of beer, so to say. So yeah, that's that, and the cinnamon are the two biggest characteristics of this particular beer. Yeah, sitting by the fire, last drink of the night, maybe even the first and last drink of the night, given the ABV. This is one that I think would be a great dessert beer, and one to have as you kind of are, like you said, just kind of ending the night and having that kind of mellowing out. I think I'm really close with you there. For me, the sweetness overpowers it a little bit much for a beer, so I'm going to go with a 7. But definitely one I would have again. Definitely one, if it's cold and I'm sitting by the fire and just want to reach for something that is going to just wind down the evening, this is going to be it.
All right,
Jake,
leaves me. So yeah, I mean, you guys kind of hit the nail on the head. It's super sweet, and I wonder if that long bowl brings out the sweetness in it. Sugars, when a lot of the times when you cook things, it seems like the sugars come to be more so, and they come out. You're right in line with what I have rated this and thought all along. So it's a 7.5 to me. I could drink it again, and hopefully they'll continue to tweak on this and release another one next year, because I do offering from them. And I think for a brewery that started in the pandemic, they actually have their act together and have put out some quality offerings and continue to do so, and I hope to continue to see them be successful.
and if you want to see more about caramelizing sugars in food, check out the sweet potato channel that these guys have on the side,
or my barbecue channel.
Or the barbecue channel as well. So those are ones we'll put down in the links in the description. And I mean, the hats of the world, that's always there. You guys always see that one as well. So definitely other avenues for you to check out and go explore here from Hopped Up Beer Review. We like to talk about beer here, but we're not one dimensional. We cover a full gambit of various topics. So be sure to check them all out.
Ben, when are you going to talk about your knitting channel? The one you do for sweaters for goats?
The Sweaters for Goat channel is still in production. We want to have enough material to get us through a season or two. And the goats just are not cooperating. So that's really been the problem. So. All right, what's that give us?
Where did this just go?
All right, everybody. That's going to give us a 7.3 for the King Cake Long Boil Pastry Stout from Braided River Brewing Company. when Andy laughs, it means I just messed up and had to reset. So just letting you in here, behind the scenes look at Hopped Up Beer Review and how we produce the show. When Andy comes back and he's snickering, it's because I screwed something up. So just to let you guys know that. But hey, special reserve. If you can find this, and I'm happy, really, really happy we did. So Jay, appreciate you bringing this back to us. But if you can find this, it's definitely worth a shot. It is a very interesting beer, a very sweet beer, but one that I think you guys would have a lot of fun with, as we have today. So with that, be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell. Check us out on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and now Discord. And we hope to see you there. For Jay, Andy in the attic, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.